Jason Ostell in the KUSI newsroom. Students and parents in the Carlsbad Unified School District staged a sit-in today calling for its schools to reopen. Parents say they're witnessing the drastic learning loss and mental health damage their students are suffering due to school closures. They're no longer just calling on school district leaders to do the right thing, but are advocating that California state leadership return students to the classroom. 3 local parents have filed a lawsuit against the San Diego Unified School District. This lawsuit claims that the district has failed to provide in-person learning for all students as required by law. It also alleges that the district failed to provide underprivileged students with equal access to distance learning. The district has not responded to the lawsuit. Meantime, they are still planning to reopen for in-person instruction the week of April 12th. For more local news 24/7, go to our website. It's Okay, the group called the Carlsbad Families for Reopening Schools is holding a number of sit-ins today to mark the 1 year of school closures.
Ed Lenderman is live at Carlsbad High School with more on these sit-ins planned. Good morning, Ed.
Hey, Ed.
Yes, we are hearing. Good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody. The anniversary of the shutdown. 1 year, enough is enough, say the parents. They're keeping the pressure on the school districts. The school districts, at least here, as well as we heard from Poway, say they applied for a waiver with the state, but the California Department of Public Health denied that. The parents say, look, you could have reopened earlier under other guidelines, and that certainly would have satisfied us. So speaking of satisfaction, the parents are very adamant now that a year is enough. That and the concerns are, number one, drastic learning loss. Then there are the mental health issues. We heard from when Hunter Sauer, or Maddie Sinclair was in Poway yesterday. Same concerns. Students cannot continue to learn this way, according to the parents and the students. Then there's the mental health issues. And we need to have the schools open immediately, according to the parents, especially here in Carlsbad, because this morning there will be sit-ins both here at Carlsbad High School and several other schools. It all begins at 9 o'clock. So Carlsbad High School, Sage Creek High School, Valley Middle School, Calavera Hills Middle School, and Aviara Oaks Middle School, all advocating, meaning the sit-ins and the demonstrations, an immediate opening of schools. The parents say that Carlsbad Union repeatedly delayed returning to in-person instruction, even though it was allowed to do so and had safety precautions in place. Okay, so in January, according to the parents, California Department of Public Health released new guidance that made it more difficult to open. So if you had just opened before, again, this is according to the parents, not the school district. So Carlsbad, along with Poway, and that was the issue yesterday, they applied for a waiver to the California Department of Public Health on Sunday. Carlsbad, along with Poway and San Diego Union High School districts, all announced separately that they had been denied that waiver. So the parents now say they want the state. They want the state to step in. Again, we'll be here at 9 o'clock for the sit-in at Carlsbad High School, as well as several other schools. And now the demand is state. Will the state step in now and do something? Well, the state, according to the California Public Health, denied the waiver. So we'll get some clarification on all of that when everybody shows up here on a Friday morning. We are live in Carlsbad this morning. Back to you guys.
All right. Looking forward to hearing from them at 9. Thanks,
Absolutely.
Ed.
All right. A group called the Carlsbad Families for Reopening Schools is holding a number of sit-ins today to mark 1 year of school closures.
Ed Lenderman is live at Carlsbad High School with more on the planned sit-ins. Good morning, Ed.
Hey, Ed.
Good morning. Yeah, I guess we're going to get the lawn chairs out. As you know, and this goes back a number of weeks ago, as the parents try to keep the pressure up on local school districts, not just here in Carlsbad, but across the county for that matter, to reopen immediately. Recall they had the students, we were in Forest Ranch with the students in lawn chairs and their laptops and doing their homework to demonstrate the parents' concerns. And the concerns here in Carlsbad are the same as they were in Poway last night. We were there live. The parents are saying on the anniversary of 1 year of the shutdown, got to get the schools back open. The kids just can't continue to do this. They're glazing over. The kids say the same thing. And then, of course, there are the mental health aspects. The school districts are saying, and this went out on Sunday, Poway, Carlsbad, and San Diego Union said they applied for a waiver with California Public Health, and the agency denied the reopenings. The parents are saying, yeah, but you could have done it sooner under different guidelines, and now we're asking the state to step in. So that's the backdrop for a 9 o'clock sit-in, not just here at Carlsbad High School where we are live this morning, but at Sage Creek High School, Valley Middle School, Calavera Hills Middle School, and Aviara Oaks Middle School. Again, the parents advocating for students to return to their classrooms. The backdrop, and this is according to the parents, that Carlsbad delayed returning to in-person instruction, even though it was allowed to do so, and it safely had put safety precautions in place. Now, this is much earlier during the pandemic. So in January, the California Department of Public Health released new guidance that made it more difficult for schools to reopen. So Carlsbad then applies for a waiver to continue what they had approved, but they were denied. And a letter went out, and we've covered this, and we covered it last night with the Poway people, meeting the parents and the students. Poway Unified, Carlsbad Unified, and San Diego Union High School District all announced on Sunday that their applications to expand in-person learning were denied again by the California Department of Public Health. Speaking of the state, the parents are now saying, and we want to get some clarification on all of this. The sit-ins are scheduled to begin about 9 o'clock this morning, and we'll be here live for that as well. Some clarification on, okay, if the districts can't do it, then we want the state to step in. Well, didn't the state just step in when California Public Health denied the application? So we'll get some clarification on all of the above on a Friday morning in Carlsbad where we are live. Back to you guys.
All right. Thanks, Ed.
Good morning, San Diego. So, a year of the shutdown. In-person instruction in the classroom? Well, not here in Carlsbad, not in Poway, not in San Diego. So the parents are fed up. They're going to have a sit-in here, as well as other schools involved in the Carlsbad Union High School District, and we'll talk about all of the above, but say good morning to Allie first.
A group called the Carlsbad Families for Reopening Schools is holding a number of sit-ins today to mark 1 year of school closures.
Ed Lenderman is live at Carlsbad High School with more on the sit-ins. Good morning, Ed.
Good morning. And sit-ins, we go back to 4S Ranch when the kids were sitting in lawn chairs on their laptops. 1 year of the shutdown, and the parents are saying enough is enough. And but the state, California Department of Public Health, has told Poway Unified, Carlsbad Unified, and San Diego Union that their applications to expand in-person learning don't fly. The parents who are going to gather here say Carlsbad could have reopened much earlier under different guidelines, and they delayed it even though they had safety precautions in place. And so the parents are going to be here today. Recall yesterday, we had live coverage of Poway and the parents demanding that the schools reopen and reopen immediately. And 1 year since the shutdown, the kids are saying, even the kids are being trotted out to say, I can't do this anymore. Even the good students are glazed over. The mental health issues. So, 9 o'clock today, not just Carlsbad High School, where we are live this morning, but several schools in the Carlsbad Unified School District. They include Sage Creek High School, Valley Middle School, Calavera Hills Middle School, and Aviara Oaks Middle School. And again, the parents are going to be here to advocate an immediate reopening. Now, according to the parents, Carlsbad Unified has repeatedly delayed returning to in-person instruction, even though it was allowed to do so. Now, this is fairly early on during the issue. And they had safety precautions in place, again, according to the parents. So in January, Carlsbad released new guidance that made it, California released new guidance. So they could have reopened according to the parents, but now there's new guidance and now you can't meet that, so we're going to remain closed. So the latest is, and we covered this, this was on Sunday, and they all issued separate statements. Carlsbad Unified, Poway Unified, and San Diego Union High School District announced that their applications to expand in-person learning were denied by the California Department of Public Health. So the parents who are going to gather here, and we want to get some clarification on all this, it's still a couple hours away, they want the state to get involved. If the local school, for whatever reason, well, the reason is we applied for a waiver with the California Department of Public Health, and we were denied. Now the parents are saying we want the state to step in. Well, did the state already step in? So you get the idea. We'll get some clarification on all of that. Is there another agency or in terms of state school superintendent get involved here as to what the parents want? But the idea is enough is enough. We've had a year of this. We're on track. Let's get the schools open. Carlsbad would counter, well, we tried to do that, and California Department of Public Health denied it. So we'll get some clarification again at 9 o'clock when everybody shows up for a sit-in, not just here, but several schools in the Carlsbad Unified School District. Back to you guys on a Friday morning.
All right. Thank you, Ed.
Couple hours away.
Good morning, San Diego. We are live this morning. If you're just joining us, and we have been here all morning, Carlsbad High School. Not just this school, but several schools in the Carlsbad Unified School District will be the subject of a sit-in today. Parents are fed up. They want the kids back in the classroom. Carlsbad tried to get a waiver from the state. They didn't get it. Well, the parents still want the state to step in, and we'll explain all of the above straight ahead. But say good morning to Allie one more time.
All right. Well, we begin with a group in Carlsbad called Carlsbad Families for Reopening Schools. It's holding a number of sit-ins in the North County today to mark 1 year of school closures.
Ed Linderman's live at Carlsbad High School with more on the sit-ins. Ed, good morning.
Good morning, Ed.
Good morning. Yes, we're calling it a sit-in, stand-in. We got signs, and this is a representative here at Carlsbad High School of similar gatherings at the other high school in the Unified School District, as well as the middle schools. And speaking of Carlsbad Families for Reopening, we've got Sharon McKeeman, who is the co-founder, and she's right here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for visiting with us.
Thank you.
Well, I don't want to get too bogged down here in the minutia of a year of this. We understand the kids have glazed over, mental health issues, a number of other things going on here. And at one point, the reason you founded your group was to get our schools, meaning particularly the ones that your three kids go to. You got an elementary student and two high school students. The elementary student is in school.
He is.
And the two high school students
Not
at
yet.
home. All right. So I didn't want to get bogged down in the minutia, but you founded this to get the schools open.
Absolutely.
Now we have a situation, fast forward just to the last Sunday, whereas Carlsbad Unified and two other districts were denied their applications to reopen. So your fight is with whom at this point?
At this point, it's with the state. So we've been advocating for Carlsbad to open. They delayed multiple times, but they finally got all the safety precautions in place and had everything signed off by the county. Wilma Wooten said we were safe to open, and then the state stepped in with some very arbitrary restrictions and put that on hold. They then walked it back and said, we'll let you apply for a waiver. Our district, our superintendent did everything they were supposed to apply for the waiver, and everyone was shocked when they were denied Sunday night.
So it is fair to say that you as a group are in solidarity with the school district.
At this point, yes.
Then what's the point of having such a demonstration?
Well, we just need to continue to advocate for our students. We're showing right now solidarity with Superintendent Churchill has come out strongly and said that he does believe that these state restrictions should not be imposed and that the local school board should have the decision making in the county. But they need to continue to push. They need to continue to push against the state on every arbitrary restriction that's harmful to our children.
Do you as a group have any say in going to a different state agency other than the Department of Public Health to try to get pressure on them to allow Carlsbad and the other districts to reopen?
Well, right now there is a North County Parents Association that is bringing a lawsuit to try to get an injunction so that the state won't be able to enforce these arbitrary restrictions, and the already approved plans for reopening will be able to continue. So we're waiting to hear more on that on Monday.
Your two kids, junior and
a freshman.
Okay, so the junior still got another year, but still, speak on their behalf.
Well, my junior is credit deficient at this point because he's really struggled on distance learning, and he's not sure if he's going to make that high school graduation, although he is an academic award winner, brilliant kid. My freshman, he looks like a distance learning success story. He has straight A's at this point, still in sports, but he's struggling, and he's never even seen the inside of a high school classroom at this point.
Is that sort of, and I'm asking en masse here, that's sort of the feeling of everybody here, that a year is enough. All right, and again, we can't get for obvious reasons. We've still got to keep our social distancing up. So, other than being in solidarity, other than calling attention to ourselves and our plight, and especially as it relates to the kids, what's the next step? Just keep doing what you're doing. Is there you don't have any fault with their application? They've got all the protocols in place. It's up to the state to change its mind. Is that fair?
At this point, currently, right now, yes. But we also expect them to continue with this sense of urgency to open because they didn't have that at the start of the year. Our kids' mental health, their academic success, it's all on the line. And we're not going to stop until we have our schools back.
If I may, you would fault them for a lack of urgency initially.
Initially, yes.
But now you want to keep the pressure on in terms of they appreciate the fact that they have to have a sense of urgency too.
We need to all continue to move forward. It's been a year. A year it's unthinkable. It's absolutely unthinkable that it's been a year.
All right, everybody, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good morning, San Diego. Say good morning, San Diego, and we'll get a hurrah as we go back. All right. Nothing to smile about, however, as the parents have been telling me. We've got a student here. Good morning. The kids, it's been a year, and if it's happening elsewhere, why can't it happen here? Poway, San Diego, you get the idea. We're live in Carlsbad this morning. Again, what you see here is similar to what's going on at the other high school as well as the 3 middle schools.
But elementary's open safely.
Elementary's open.
No incident.
Let's not lose sight of it. Elementary's open, but no middle and no high school.
So why can't secondary? Makes no sense, right?
And we do want to wrap this up. When the superintendent says, the state telling him.
Yeah, it's elementary. Elementary has been open. There has been no evidence of on-campus transmission. Everyone has been safe, and we've got K through 6 in school safely. Why can't 7 through 12? And those students, they're at risk.
All right, a question they are asking the state these days, right?
Yep.
We're live in Carlsbad. Back to you guys.
That's an understandable question to be asking, that's for sure.
A lot of these sit-ins happening across Carlsbad.
Yeah.
We'll see if the district responds. Thanks, Ed.
Thanks, Ed.
Meantime, students and parents in the Carlsbad Unified School District staged a sit-in today, calling for its schools to reopen. Parents say that they are witnessing the drastic learning loss and mental health damage that their students are suffering due to school closures. They are no longer just calling on school district leaders to do the right thing, but they are advocating that California state leadership return students to the classroom.
3 local parents have filed a lawsuit against the San Diego Unified School District. The lawsuit claims that the district has failed to provide in-person learning for all students as required by law. Now, it alleges that the district failed to provide underprivileged students with equal access to distance learning. The district has not responded to this lawsuit yet. Meantime, they are still planning to reopen for in-person learning the week of April 12th. Well,